I'm gonna do this shit until it fucking works out or I'm gonna die trying.
Me personally, I don't give a fuck. When I was really, really young, we were poor as shit.
One of the most artistically eclectic, versatile, and consistently impressive discographies.
The greatest producer of right now.
Highly creative, highly talented individual.
I don't give a fuck if any of these people acknowledge me.
What are you gonna do?
I never had any interest in anything else except music.
How are you gonna survive out here?
You think you know me?
Easily, bitch.
My name is JPEGMAFIA.
It's 2018. A rapper named JPEGMAFIA had just dropped an album titled Veteran.
This is the second full-length album from Baltimore rapper and producer
JPEGMAFIA.
JPEGMAFIA.
JPEGMAFIA!
I think this album is fucking great.
one of the most off-the-wall and creative rap projects I've heard in a while.
The sound of Veteran is coarse, discordant.
That was fucking great!
He's going crazy on top of this.
I'm actually a veteran. I consider myself a veteran, so that's what that title is.
I've showcased all sides of myself.
As a grown-ass black man, growing up in the States, growing up where I grew up, this is the culmination of all my experiences into one album.
In my lifetime, I've moved around so much.
I was born in Brooklyn.
Flatbush, New York, that's where I was originally from.
And I lived there till I was 13. But we moved to Alabama, and I lived there until I was like 18.
I've moved around so much in my life, I never had a place that I could comfortably call like, this is where I'm from.
Do you think that's had a lot of an impact on who you are as a person, moving around a lot as a kid?
Yeah, definitely.
My upbringing was just pretty bad, you know, like broken household, bad family.
We were poor as shit.
Alabama sucks.
The racism is very different. It's a culture shock and it's just shocking in general.
First, I was walking home from school. This dude rolled by. I had to walk down into like this log cabin area. While I was walking around the lake, this dude just pulled up and he just spit on me and he's like, and he drove off, and I was like, word, yo. I was like, really, bro? On the first day? That's the first time, like, I ever cared about politics, for real. Like, I'm walking home from school, and I get patted down and shit like that.
Was it kind of scary growing up in that environment?
Yeah, it's terrifying.
You know, at 12, it's not something you're mentally equipped to deal with.
You have to be on defense all the time for like no reason other than you just existing in that area.
It's a lot of mental gymnastics people play. I had to adapt to a lot very quickly with no experience to do it, really.
I didn't really have much of a family, so not really having anybody to teach you how to exist in an adult world, I had to kind of just go out there and learn by trial and error.
Barrington was alone and had to face the harsh realities of this world all by himself. All the while, music was slowly becoming an interest of his.
Music caught on to me like mad early, and I never had any interest in anything else. When I first started being really interested in making music was when I heard Diplomatic Immunity, and I discovered what sampling was, which helped me discover a bunch of music, which helped me discover what production and all that.
I started out as a producer. I've been making beats since I was like 13 or 14.
My instrument is really a DAW.
I had to just read the manual, look through everything.
With a DAW, you're able to like transfer information and do different things. So like you could play the keys to something and then like transfer it to a guitar or something like that.
With a focus on learning the fundamentals of music production, Barrington was inevitably gonna find a way to bend the sounds in an unorthodox way.
When I was first making beats, no one liked the beats.
There's a lot of weird stuff going on in my songs, man. Anything has a rhythm to it. All sounds have a waveform on it, you know? So like it can be turned into anything technically. So, yeah.
I was a producer first, and I just made beats until I turned like 17 and discovered America's Most Wanted.
Crack a smile. Take me to your house, pal.
Shit, I can rap about this?
I didn't know you could do that like that.
Right.
That's when I was like, I'm about to rap. I realized that rap was like more than just like, rap was not like rock where you had to like follow a formula. Like you could actually do anything you want.
You joined the military pretty young, straight out of school, right?
Yeah. I fucking hated the military. Damn. I don't want to tell you the real story, because it's like, I'll say this, I was just very young and just in a bad position.
I didn't have money to go to college or really to do anything else, so my options were to stay where I was and just wither away and do whatever, or joining the military was the only option that made sense. It was terrible. It was the worst decision I ever made. It's very stressful, it's dangerous as shit, and it's just not something I would think anybody needs to subject themselves to unless you just want to do that shit.
I hate those motherfuckers, yo. I hate them. They're just sociopaths and like psychopaths and really morons who like sat in the back of the class and ate worms and shit. They fostered an environment where like basically your rank meant more than anything else before you're a human being.
I was able to buy music equipment, but
I feel like it made me grow up even faster, honestly. I know a bitch in the military right now who was my sergeant. She told me when I was getting out, she said, "What are you gonna do? I hate these people, I hate this shit, I don't like this environment. How are you gonna survive out here?" I just needed to get the fuck out of there as soon as possible. Easily, bitch.
Barrington had a plan up his sleeves. Cultivate his artistry in music.
Welcome to the Madhouse, good morning.
The first tape I ever released, which was this tape called Generation Y. If you listen to it, the bars are mad dense because I was just sitting in a fucking hole in the desert writing all day.
Devon gets really political on a lot of the songs. If you were more of a conservative or Republican listener,
fuck Glenn Beck,
maybe you wouldn't be so pleased with this.
I think my talent with making beats was coming to fruition, but like me overall putting songs together it was kind of scatterbrained and odd, really. You know, like you could tell I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
He actually sent me a message and asked to review his mixtape, Joe Chill World. Very good production, good beats. I want to say he's very honest. He's a brutally honest artist.
Devon Hendryx is a culmination of all of Barrington's life experiences up until this point. His desire for creativity, his aggressive nature, and his unbothered attitude. He was simply just letting his creativity spark out onto the music.
I released a tape in Japan called the Ghost Pop tape.
The Ghost Pop stuff is pretty genuine.
With the project coming off as Devon's most vulnerable project to date. The Ghost Pop tape was released alongside a very explicit film, in which he laid out all of his darkness onto his art.
I had figured out myself to an extent by that time, and that was just like me being very, very vulnerable on record and not like holding anything back, you know?
Devon showed heavy potential on these projects with his production and his lyricism, but he was getting absolutely zero attention from anyone.
I had 50 views on YouTube, 2 fucking plays on SoundCloud.
This means it's all over, right?
As much as his music wasn't finding any success yet, Devon was sick and tired of the military. He wants to do music.
Labels blowing up my line, it got
Baltimore is the first place I came and everything lined up. And then I was able to like get focused. And when I became JPEGMAFIA, the music coming out of this scene, I felt it the most out of anything.
People there were just like super black creatives, you know, of all different walks of life. All these people coming together because they just want to be creative and weird.
I claim Baltimore because this is very clear. This is the first place I ever lived that I chose. Home is where the love is. That's what I'm saying.
JPEGMAFIA releases his first few projects, garnering some slight buzz off the internet and on the local scene, with controversial titles for white people to get pissed off at, and brutally honest lyrics that are throwing shots at everyone. This is truly Barrington at his most authentic self yet. It was only a matter of time until JPEGMAFIA finally found some success for himself.
I've been doing this for a long ass time. The only thing I've ever been good at is making music anyway. I'm just not really good at anything else for real. I can't hold a job, I have no redeeming qualities except music. I love doing it. It really feels good to me. My music is like letting out that frustration in my real life and just putting it on art.
But I'm very much about the music. What are you doing? What are the technicals?
If you dust me off and strip me of my status, I'm still gonna get busy on the production because that's what I've been doing my whole fucking life.
So for me, I'm so about the music. The title can be like whatever because it's kind of like weeding out who's listening and who's not.
Yeah.
This is my craft. This is what I love to do.
There's an artist named Nick Drake. He died. Nobody knew who this motherfucker was. 20 years later, they put his song in like a truck commercial or some shit. And now there's a bunch of artists that sound just like Nick Drake.
Wow.
But he'll never know because he fucking died thinking he's a nobody. You know what I'm saying? I just don't want to walk around thinking I'm nobody or I'm not as big as this person or that person.
I can do whatever the fuck I want. Like for real, I'm gonna do this because like even if people don't fuck with it now, somebody may look back at it later and be like, oh shit, that dude was on to something.
From the day I decided, I literally never stopped. I was just like, fuck this shit.
I'm gonna do this shit until it fucking works out or I'm gonna die trying.
I'm really attempting to make something people have not ever actually heard before. This album's either gonna make me or break me. I'll say that. That's all I can say about it.
The new JPEGMAFIA album. Veteran.
Amazing record, fantastic record, and
it's got some of the most off-the-wall and unnerving production I've heard this year.
A challenge to me to exist on something that like shouldn't have vocals on it.
When I write, I just want to show niggas you can do this trap shit and you can still spit. You don't have to talk nonsense over that. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
The raw energy and ideas, the unique perspectives are absolutely here in spades on this record. It's a testament to Peggy's authenticity, his uncompromising artistic spirit. This project is a breakout record for him.
The newest project from JPEGMAFIA, LP. This is easily his most accessible in about 5 years, because it's also fucking incredible.
Feels like artistically everything Peggy has been honing up until this point. This record is so odd, it's so out there, and it's filled with so many unlikely combinations of sounds and ideas, and yet
it's another fantastic and unique singularity of internet culture.
It's still so incredibly catchy.
JPEGMAFIA's new album, I Laid Down My Life For You. I liked seeing that introspection from JPEG, and I feel like I got it more on this album, maybe than on any other album he's ever put out.
That's very true. I feel like it's one of his most introspective projects.
A guy who's a rapper, a singer, a songwriter, a producer, and doing all of it incredibly well.
I did exactly what the fuck I said I was going to do. I said I was going to do whatever the fuck I wanted.
And I can make enough money to do what I want to do. I'm completely satisfied.
I can't even believe this shit, bro. Sold out. Thank y'all, man. Thank y'all. And this right here is home.
I had to claw for everything I had, so like, I had no help. I had no nothing, you know? I made it here strictly off the back of my own hard work and creativity and just doing my own thing. There was no shortcuts for this, you know? I am a personification of triumphing over literal adversity. Be as much yourself as you possibly can and be unapologetic. Double down on yourself as much as you can. Whoever you are, turn it up times 20. Don't try to be like some other nigga, because whatever you think other people want to hear, that's probably not what they want to hear. I want to be happy in the fact that like I might have influenced somebody to do this or that, and that's cool.
This is the reality for most people. They don't see the fruits of their labor, but like I have. In a certain way, and I just want to show people like it's possible type shit. It's a very cliche thing, but it's true.
If you could all give it up for Peggy.
You said, I've been every version of a rapper you can be. I've been the nigga with 50 views on YouTube,
2 fucking plays on SoundCloud,
3 downloads on Bandcamp,
etc., etc.
What I hear you saying is, I am you.
Yeah.
I am you. And because I am you, you can be me.